Hello guys, welcome back to this Steve Perez video. So the situation is looking very bad, and on the phone call Eric finds Steve is yelling like Steve is in trouble, and Eric gets upset when he hears Steve screams, and Eric does not know what happened to Steve, and on the phone call is Steve screaming for help. And then Eric rushes to Steve, and Eric finds the door to Steve's house already open, and Steve nowhere to be seen inside the house, and it's very quiet in the house. Then bloodstains are seen on the table and the chair is messed with, and Steve's screams are heard from upstairs, and Steve is screaming from inside the bathroom. And the bathroom door is locked, and it looks like Steve is injured, and Steve is screaming in pain. Then when the door is open, Steve has a bloody cloth over his eye, and Steve eye is bleeding a lot, and Steve eye is hurting a lot, and Steve can't see very well, and then Steve needs to be rushed to the hospital. Steve has trouble going down the stairs, and it turns out that Steve fell off the chair and hurt his eye due to hitting the bunk and a paintbrush getting into Steve's eye, and Steve has his eye covered with a cloth and it's bleeding profusely, and Steve can't even walk properly. Then they prepare to take Steve to the doctor, and with great difficulty Steve is put into the car, and Eric is shocked to see Steve's condition, and Eric has to drive, and Eric and Steve head to the hospital, and Steve can't get relief from the pain in his eye, and Steve worries about his family, and Steve wonders how I'm going to work with my team now. But Eric tells Steve to stay positive, and Steve starts having strange thoughts about himself, and then Steve and Eric are 5 minutes away from the hospital. And Eric wants to know how such a big accident could happen to Steve at home, and when Steve tells it, it turns out that the paintbrush got stuck in Steve's eye due to falling asleep. And Eric is shocked to know that, and then when Steve removes the cloth from his eye, Steve's eye is perfectly fine, and Steve has a crazy prank on Eric, and Eric is shocked to learn about the prank. So guys, thank you so much for watching the video. I have given the link of the official video in the description. You can also watch their official video. See you again on a new video. Until then, take care.